Hey guys, my name is Alex from the Rants and Raves crew, and this is my life.
So, when a mother and a father love each other very much. Actually, you know what? I'll start around that time where I was an accident. And this is very apparent with the family photo only including my two older brothers. And it still sits on the mantle at home. And it's just my mom, my dad, and my two older brothers. And they had it professionally taken before I was born.
That's sad.
So, it's sad, but I've gotten over it because they shower me with love every fucking day. And so, I know that they care about me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not.
Just because you were a mistake doesn't mean that they regret that mistake.
Right. I was a good mistake.
Like, even when you accidentally break the yolk while cooking an egg, you still eat the fucking egg.
There are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
No, there are mistakes.
We don't talk about this.
Yeah.
So I guess I should just skip over to kindergarten, where George and I officially met.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't think we hung out that much.
No, well, we talked. Like, I recall us, and I think it was either... Yeah, it was kindergarten. I recall us, we were both trying to use the scissors, and we were sitting at the table. I remember some old shit. We were both trying to use the scissors, and they were like, remember, keep your arm down when you're using scissors. And me and him were both like, I got this, like with our arms all the way up.
Yeah, sounds like me.
That's the first memory I have of me and Alex. But we were sitting at a table with a kid named, I'm not going to say his last name, but Tristan. I don't know if you remember Tristan.
Okay.
But we were sitting at a table all trying to figure out scissors,
Yeah.
and we were all confused as shit.
Yeah.
That's my first memory, with you at least.
I didn't even remember that. Anyway, so from there, it all goes a bit foggy because I don't know what exact grade I went to Christian school for.
Yeah.
But it was between kindergarten first and second, and when I came back, they told me that what I had learned in Christian school wasn't adequate and I'd have to do the grade over. So that set me back, I'm pretty sure. However, when I hear my parents talk about it, it sounds like I actually stayed back because of my ADD.
Oh, okay.
Or ADHD, at the point of which they called it ADHD, and they said I wasn't ready to progress because I hadn't passed my tests. Or, no, I hadn't done enough of the homework. And then when I was tested, I was fine. So I moved on to the next grade.
Yeah.
ADHD, ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds fun.
Not being able to finish homework, fucking ace tests. So, from there, I was in the equivalent grade of Kyle, but we hadn't exactly met yet because I was still at the central school. Yeah, so we were at the same level, not at the same school yet.
Yeah.
So, we, kept going through life, and at the end of 5th grade, it came time for us to go to the new school.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically, we all got to choose the name for our new school, which was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
Thought it was a good idea. And then the name got chosen and everyone hated it.
Yeah.
Everybody picked this cool name and then they just went with something else.
Yeah, I don't think they even followed it.
I liked it.
They only did the poll to make it seem like we had some kind of a
one
choice.
of the things that was voted for a lot, which I can say that's because it's not exactly seen in town, they were going to call it Raiders Middle School.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really sick, and then they came up with a different shitty name, which sucked.
Yeah.
They literally just named our middle school after our high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Right. So, from there, we were together in middle school, Kyle and I, in the same grade, but opposite sides of the school. He was in one wing, I was in the opposite.
I wouldn't say it like that because we had our homerooms and we would all bounce around for classes like you start doing in middle school. Because I remember back in elementary school, you did every class in the same room.
Yep.
But in middle school, you would start moving around. We had like one class together, and we never talked.
Probably.
I believe it was social studies with that one. The social studies teacher that none of us truly cared for.
The old one?
No, not the old one. The tall, younger one that gossiped with the other students.
Ah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
See.
understand.
Yep.
Inside joke type things.
So, but otherwise, we didn't really meet because we were mostly scheduled for the classes on the opposite wings of the school.
Oh, and also we had our unified arts classes, like art, gym,
Right.
music. But when 7th grade came around, another reason that I didn't see much of either of these guys was because in those classes I was chosen for this program called JMG Reach, where kids with social problems, whether they're overly social and can't focus on their classes or are underly social and don't talk to anyone, are basically thrown in there and taught those skills of how to interact with each other. So I wasn't in any of these other unified arts classes. I did not take art or gym or music until I was back in high school.
Oh, good. You didn't have to endure the fitness Grand Pacer test.
No, I did not.
Fucking loved that test.
I was able to get out of that test. I loved it.
Ugh. Lucky
The fitness
bastards.
Grand Pacer test.
Don't give me PTSD. So anyway, kind of bumbled along middle school. So, I continued school to 8th grade, not doing drama, and from 8th grade to high school was the shittiest transition I think I've ever had, because they had to keep me back for half a year in middle school. So I was not in the freshman class for half a year. And
That
so
sucks.
I went to the high school thinking, oh, I graduated. And then they're like, we're shipping you to the middle school.
That's
They
fucking stupid.
So they pulled me out of that class. I'm glad they didn't tell anyone. They just said, come to the office.
I kind of
And that
just
was
noticed
nice.
you were gone.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. I was just like, there were a few kids that had to do that, and I noticed that they were just kind of gone. Nobody ever said anything.
So we both ended up making it halfway through the year, and we were able, both of us, to go to the high school at that point. At which point I joined chorus.
Yep.
I think immediately. So, Kyle and I were back together in one single class
That sounded
for
gay.
chorus. Shut up.
He's not wrong.
With a bunch of girls. So from there, my interest in music and musical productions kind of started. I had been so highly skilled at singing
Yeah.
that I auditioned.
That
for-
was both sarcasm and not sarcasm. It's just Alex is a very, very good bass. Try to send him any higher, and he sucks.
Yeah. Although I've gotten better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I auditioned for our version of advanced choir.
Select choir
Select
is
choir.
yeah.
Yeah. So I and I'd like to point out my audition song was actually a pony song in disguise.
Was it really?
Yes. So yeah, I got away with that. And from there we went on all the trips, as Kyle mentioned. So from there, that kind of sparked my interest in audio production.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of time I've been trying to learn a lot about, producing audio, mixing audio, and what I aspire to do is get my certificate in audio engineering and go on to essentially, hopefully, build my own studio in a nice place, not in a basement,
Yeah.
but in a nice place,
Yeah.
and actually record maybe Billboard artists at some point.
One thing that I
or-
also feel like you should mention is at one point you had you had a big fascination in becoming a voice actor,
Yeah.
which that was a big thing throughout high school because I remember you talking to me about it a lot.
hmm And so my thought process there was, if I can't be a full-time voice actor, I want to get as close to the mic as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And so the next logical process was, well, I can be as close to the mic if I want, if I'm the one controlling the fucking mics.
Bro, me and you could do a fucking radio show.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I remember
That'd be
when
fun.
Alex and I were gonna make our own cartoon. We were actually gonna feature George in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
We were
remember.
gonna make it was like this dumb parody cartoon about a couple of cops who were just out of high school who somehow managed to pass the police exam, even
Police
though
Academy.
one of them was extremely stupid.
21 Jump Street.
Basically, no, we had a lot of inside jokes that we had come up with, just little random quotes that we were gonna throw in there.
Yeah.
And I remember the big thing that we had come up with was that their hangout place, which this is how we were going to incorporate George with it. Their hangout place was going to be a restaurant called Big George's Burger Barn, and it was just going to be George running this restaurant, and this was be the place that they hung out all the time when they weren't at work.
I like it.
No, that was the main thing when you said you wanted to get into voice acting. You said that we were going to make that cartoon, we were going to do the voices, and I was just like, who's going to do the animation? You said, me?
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
Me and you are both actually. I don't know if you're still interested in that, but I've been wanting to do animations for a long time. If we can get a good computer, we can set one up.
We'll animate a piece of podcast at some point in the future.
Oh yeah,
One
I'm
of our
definitely
favorite
into that.
points.
Well, we can also do our stories, but animated. One of the things is that, like,
Animate my life.
yeah, that'd be sick. But no, I want to do animations, and as soon as we get my good computer, which Johan should be selling me
providing.
soon. Yeah, we could actually start that up.
Yeah.
Which I'd be interested in.
That'll be fun. And so, I'm still going to high school.
Yeah.
I haven't finished yet, but I should be finished within a month, and I'll be getting my degree.
That's awesome.
My degree. It's
Diploma.
And then from there, I'm gonna work probably full time at computer sales or computer assistant.
The place that we bought this is hiring.
Yeah.
Actually,
I was thinking
if you want some experience in what you want to do, you might think into looking into getting a job at a local radio station.
I am. I already have. I went in and they were like, we're not accepting interns.
I applied for 99.9, and they were like,
The country station, because they have
Yeah.
a place right over in Lewiston, don't they?
yes, but it was the office in Portland, which I was completely willing to drive to Portland at that point.
So 105.5 is right in Auburn, right across from the
Yeah.
Auburn Mall. And so I went there for one afternoon. Actually, no, it was one morning, in the morning. And so I was actually announced on the radio. They actually did a shout out for me on the radio live, which
That's
was
awesome.
But it was right before the regular Sunday French broadcast,
Yeah.
and then during the French broadcast. So I was shouted out in English, and then in the next hour I was shouted out again in French. So that was pretty cool.
It's pretty sick.
So yeah, I think that's everything leading up to today.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
much.
Thank you guys for joining. I hope you liked the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next podcast.